First thing you should do after starting the engine on a rainy day is to turn on the air. If not, your windows will get foggy in no time, and it'll take a lot more time for them to get clean than it took for them to get foggy. This first knob here with the blue and red stripe adjusts the temperature of the air, this one in the middle adjusts the intensity, and the one on the right adjusts the direction of the airflow. In this case, we want to direct it towards the windshield. We also press this button with little twisted arrows on a rectangle. You may have noticed those thin little lines on your rear window. These are little heaters. When you press this button, they heat up and they clean up the fog. Note that all these controls can be presented differently depending on the vehicle, but the basic functionality is the same. As for the wipers, they usually have 4 main positions. In some vehicles, you'll need to move the lever up to turn them on. In some others, you'll need to move it down, like in this one. So if you press once, you'll start the intermittent mode, which means the wipers will alternate between wiping and stopping at a certain frequency. Use this setting when the rain is light. In some vehicles, you can also adjust the frequency of the intermittency by rotating this ring. If you push the lever 1 notch further, you'll start the normal mode. Use this when the rain is constant, but not too light and not too heavy. Another notch down and you're in the fastest mode. Use this when it's raining very heavily. If you push the lever up, it'll just wipe the windshield once and then stop. Use this when the rain is very light, push it whenever there's enough rain to clean. In some vehicles, you also have a rear wiper. You can turn it on by rotating this switch. Note that usually it's only vehicles that have kind of a vertical back that have them, like SUVs, minivans, hatchbacks, and so on. You rarely see them on sedan type of vehicles, and there are 2 main reasons for that. One, the mechanism for the wipers is inside the back door, so that's a lot more complicated to fit on a sedan type of vehicle. And second, because of the square back shape of these kinds of vehicles, the wind tends to flow over the rear window, creating a swirl that pushes all the dirt into the back of the vehicle. Whereas on a sedan type, the wind flows along the back window, cleaning it as it does. If you drive both types of vehicles in wet weather, you'll notice that the back window of an SUV or hatchback tends to get dirty a lot faster. Now, a lot of people think that the heavier the rain, the more slippery the streets will get. Not necessarily. Both are slippery in their own way. You might have seen these sorts of rainbows before on the asphalt after it starts raining. This is actually oil, gas, and all the greasy stuff that can come out of a car. And you'll see this especially when it starts raining after a few dry days, because that leaves enough time for that oil and gas to accumulate on the asphalt. Light rains will lift all that stuff up, but it'll stay there, so the asphalt will become very slippery. Heavier rains will clean up the street faster and send that stuff to the sewers on the sides. You see, streets are actually not completely flat. They're slightly curved in order for the rain to evacuate towards the sides where the sewers are. For that same reason, try not to stay on the extreme lanes, because that's where the water tends to accumulate. And that may lead to your window getting splashed and you'll be temporarily unable to see anything, and loss of control, which I will talk about in part 2 of this video next week, among other things. So stay tuned and thanks for watching.